share you that list. I cut this down, okay? But I will just send you the. But then I'll
I'm
send.
not gonna cut it out.
So you have. So don't forget site search analytics.
True. And how do you find these search terms? What tools would you use to find the popular search terms?
I mean, most of my clients are actually on BigCommerce and Shopify, and Shopify and BigCommerce already have this internally that can give you a site search. So if you go, you can select the time frame, like let's say last month, and it gives you all the sort of keywords that were searched, and then it gives you a pie chart where like it shows you what were the most used terms. I think that's enough. You can check past month data. If you are looking for something more seasonal, you can go for like 6-month data. If it's something more long term, like gifts, so you can go for like 1-year data. Again, depending on your niche, depending on your store, see your time frame and analyze those data and come up with some more opportunities. This will give you 2 really big like positive points. The first one is like it will allow you to focus on more keywords. More keywords opportunities means more traffic from different SERP, and then again product discovery and conversions. And then again, there are fundamentals, some of like, I won't say like fundamentals, but like the golden rules of e-commerce, like which will, I would say, not just e-commerce, but for any tech SEO. So the first one would be like try to reduce paginations. Always try to reduce pagination. I think I've already mentioned that. And the best way to reduce pagination is go with more subcategories, go with more categories, so that your product groups can be distributed into more smaller groups, and then that can help you actually avoid paginated pages. Never ever go for infinite scroll, aka load more pages. That's really bad because it can hurt user experience in many ways. First of all, you really can't reach the end of the website, and sometimes you just want to go there for contact reasons, blogs or anything, and just can't reach there, and it's so annoying. You really can't reach the end. And then secondly, those load more pages have problems, like the bots have problems to like to get the complete information because they are not properly like and then they have like a bigger, I would say, sizing. There can be many tech issues that can follow if you are using a load more. So none of the tech SEO would actually recommend you using that form of category page. Apart from that, if imagine you are on, this is something again important, if you are on an industry, like running or handling an industry e-commerce website, this is where you have to work on the industry, I would say, I don't know, like those IDs. What I mean industry IDs is, suppose if you have nails, which can be black color, brown color, it can be small, like 1 inch, 2 inches, and then can be, like different sizings. There are many things for one black screw, a screw. So imagine if someone would just be searching on your website for like a black screw, and then he still has this construction going on his, like, let's say, house, and he needs more. It would be impossible for him to find those same specific screw again, because there are massive versions of one screw. You know how industry e-commerce looks like. They are like massive pages, and almost each product are same. So this is where you use the ID of that product next in the title. So imagine if there was like a black screw, which was 2 inches, and a black screw which was 1 inches. So they can have a unique ID and put that unique ID in those titles, so that if a user comes back again to find that specific keyword, product, he can just search that term and then he can find that product. So this is again something that can improve your product discovery on industry e-commerce. Again, just another tip for anyone who's working on industry platforms. Again, breadcrumb navigation, really important. We have already discussed that. Yeah, a lot of questions I get like from my clients that what do we do with the out of stock pages? Again, there are many ways how you can deal with it. So as I've like brought this back a bit, if you have a product which is out of stock, let's say forever, you are not bringing that product, just delete that page. Delete them, remove them, or put a 301 so that you can actually pass that link juice to something more similar, like put a 301 to, it was like a shoes, you're not going to sell that shoes again, put a 301 to a similar shoe. So anyone who have links anywhere on the internet regarding that, or the backlinks, can actually somehow be able to reach into something similar. Or like, yeah, it's a bit cheeky way, but it's still like can help you like say keep your link juice with you. Why just waste, like imagine if you had like 10 backlinks on that page, removing that would waste all those 10 backlinks.
Yeah.
So why not just uh, redirect them to your category page? It can just save those links for you. So yeah. And then secondly, I would say if you're it's like if it's a seasonal one, like something where your product would be out of stock for a long time, but it would come back. So you need that page. This is where you can put 302, which is a temporary redirect. 302 redirect won't pass the link juice, but it will redirect the audience to something more similar, or like something where you don't have any options, any alternatives. Like suppose it was a winter jackets, and you're not selling winter jackets anymore. So this is where you can actually just leave a good message like, hey, we are out of stock, and we would notify you as soon as it's back. So sign up for our newsletter or something like, or sign up for the notification, something like that. So this is where you can just give the message to the audience and then leave the page as it is. So these are the three ways you can deal with it. Like long term is 301, temporary is 302. If you have an alternative, if you don't have any alternative, leave it as it is, and then give them a message that you would be notified soon if you sign up for the notifications.
So out of stock pages can actually work to your benefit, can't they? So they're not always bad.
Yeah. But again, I mean, because out of stock pages can also hurt your UX. It can increase your bounce rate. People can just leave from your website. So like, yeah, make sure that you deal with it properly. Try to like, hide it for a while. I mean, try to hide it from your homepage. Don't delete them. Just like try to hide them. I know that a user might still come from the search engine point of view, from like from search engines. So it's fine. You can give them the message, but make sure that that page still like won't be drifting on your category pages or your home pages. Just like make sure it's not like easily accessible if they are out of stock. Like push it down or something, or just like disable it for a while.
What if you have your out of stock page and you leave a message saying, sorry, we're out of stock for this product, but here's a link to a similar product? Would that be as beneficial as a redirect?
I think that's not exactly a redirect, and I think that aligns with what I've mentioned before. Like for every, this is what I said, that like for every page, I mean for every products, you should have those top featured and similar products, so that even if it's an out of stock, the navigation won't stop. So you don't really have to recommend them straight away, like, hey, let's go. But you can just like view similar products, something like a link, like view similar products. So he can have like 5 or 10 more different versions of that. So this can be a good way. But I think this rule doesn't even apply on the out of stock pages. It applies on every single page, because a user won't be satisfied with just one product that he views. So this will be on out of stock as well as pages that are in stock. You just have to give them more options.
Is that what Amazon does? When you buy something and they say at the bottom, it says, oh, you bought chocolate. People usually buy chocolate and marshmallows together. Is that a good thing to do?
It's not exactly the best example for what I was explaining, but it's a really good way of upselling. So if you can see that Amazon have two different sections. The first one is view similar products. So first it shows you all the other products that are similar to that, and then they first they did their job of like giving you more options related to that product, and then they move on to, if you buy chocolates, you can also buy some gums, something like. So first the give them recommendations and then upsell. But yeah, it's a great strategy, really great strategy if you are giving them a combo deal, something like that together can work.
Interesting. And I don't know if this is going to go along with your plan that you've written down, but 404 pages, some say that you should remove them, some say you shouldn't remove them. So can you talk more about that?
I think it's the same. I think there can be different views from different people, like why they want to say that they shouldn't. But I think 404 page definitely should be removed because they are dead end. No one likes dead end. No one likes, like, you walk to a street and then it's just dead end, right?
Yeah.
So so I hope you understand, like,
Yeah.
404 pages, and first of all, like, the worst part is it actually really hurts your SEO. So it's actually hurting your ranking factor in tech SEO. So even I don't find any reason why they shouldn't be removed. And it's not just being removed. I would say removing 404 pages won't solve many other issues, like if there were some pages, some incoming links there, internally or externally. So if you remove that 30 page only, would just fix your tech issues, but might bring a lot of users still to a 404 because it's just like don't reach anywhere. So that page is removed. I think the 404 means that they are removed. I hope you understand. Like, those are actually removed pages, but the URL remains. So 404, the best way is you have to put a 301 redirect to some place. If you don't have any options, go for the home page, but don't make a user get stuck in a dead end.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if there is a 404, you don't have any other similar options, remove them from the sitemap or the other tech things that we follow. There are process, but the last part is 301, so that the loop maintains. They're not going to go stuck somewhere. If it doesn't work, bring them to homepage or something. But
yeah, true. I guess
yeah,
I guess you need to optimize the 404 page if you do get one, because every site gets one. At least make it pretty, or make people click on something else. So you've got, sorry, this page is not accessible, but click here. That would work.
yeah, I mean there can be different strategies and like creative things that you can do. Like, I know that a lot of people design their 404 page in a really funny way, and sometimes they also do it in a really smart way. Like, they still give you options like, these are our major categories, so the navigation still might not stop. Like, they have a 404 page, it says 404 page not found, but then they have those links to all the other pages, so a user from that 404 page can still go to any other page. But I would say that uh, in the end, that 404 page can have certain value, SEO value, backlinks, and all these things. So it's better if you put a 301 redirect. So if that page would have been ranking somewhere on Google, that user can actually land on a relevant page. Like, imagine it was about iPhone 12. Uh, it was an old review, and then it's the blog page, and then I have a latest review of iPhone 12. I would just like put a 301 to the latest review, so that my users that were coming from the keywords like iPhone reviews will still get a new page, rather than those generic options like home, blog, category, something like that, a shop. Why would they choose when they really want to go somewhere, because they are coming from somewhere? I hope you understand. So you're just changing their intention, you're changing the journey, you're changing their path. Don't do it. Like, give them something similar. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, it does. Okay. Yeah, because I was reading some documentation and someone mentioned actually 404 pages aren't that bad for SEO, and I was like, really? Even on Ahrefs, your health score goes down by 50% if you have 4 broken pages. So surely it does matter.
Yeah, I don't find any reason why they shouldn't be removed, and they can help you. I don't find any reason. Like, from every aspect, it's bad. UX or tech or anything, user journey, buying journey, anything is just bad.
Yeah, true. So I have a question about alt. Do I have to hold it until you're done, or can I ask it now?
Another questions about alt text. Yeah, I think because I was also about to in those fundamental lists, I was about to mention the alt text.
Yeah.
So alt text again is something really important, and they should also follow the buying intent, because sometimes a lot those sort of images they start ranking on the image section.
Mhm.
So when you are doing a product image alt text, make sure that you follow the same process, like buy. If it was like a shoes, again a running shoes, just go for like buy running shoes, let's say in Australia. So like now if someone would just even like search running shoes and he's in the image section, might still get my image, and then from there if he likes that, can
Mhm.
also come to my website. So alt text can be important, and a lot of people avoid, first of all they avoid this. Secondly, they do, whenever they are working with alt text, they just come up with like generic ones,
Mhm.
like AirPods, iPhone 12. No, like stick with your keywords,
Mhm.
stick with your keywords, stick with your intention.
Mhm.
And even all text matters, and then you can actually, and it also improves your it's a ranking factor, so it also gives you a
Mhm.
boost
Mhm.
in for LSI keywords. So I think, yeah, all text should be. So if you have any other questions regarding all text, let me know.
I do. You said that it has to target keywords. Can alt text still be the same? For example, if I have my report on Hrefs and it says you've got 2,000 missing alts for a new client. So how can you go back and edit every single alt one by one? Can you just import one set, or it can be a duplicate?
Generally, when we have the similar situation with the clients, what we do, we first of all come up with the generic ones,
Mm,
because most of them are like missing. If you start targeting individual alt text on individual pages, imagine how much of dev hours you're losing. Client don't have most this amount of budget. So
mm,
to deal with this way, what we do is we start like we go on the there's a file manager in every, in Shopify, in ecom, BigCommerce, in WordPress, there are file manager. We go straight to file manager. We spend around 6 to 7 hours, and then we just try write all text for all the image generic ones,
mhm,
maybe 1,000,
mhm,
1,500 maybe. So we just give the general. So first of all, we give them a generic one, so that we dealt with the tech issue and
mhm,
we dealt with the missing all text.
mhm,
Now comes up with optimization part. So like you'd never do optimization for the entire website at once. You're
mhm,
doing it page by page, product by product. So once you have the tech all text already in place, now when you are exclusively working on that specific page, you can actually re-optimize them again. So your tech issues dealt, and then now you have more uh, optimized all text when you are working exclusively on that page.
mhm. Would you say,
When you work
yeah,
on.
would you say that for e-commerce, all, I mean, I know alts are important for every product, but they would be especially important for e-commerce because you want your pictures to be everywhere, don't you?
I I think, yeah, I think if you would say that where what sort of niche gets benefit, what type of websites get benefit the most
Mhm,
from all text, I would say it's actually e-commerce,
mhm,
because yeah, a lot of people, a lot of users are looking for products from
mhm,
image sections,
mhm,
and the products they really want to buy.
mhm,
So I think that can really help like to do for them to straight away follow that path, and then like end up on your website. So
mhm,
I think uh, it's one of the a very common user journey that
mhm,
comes from this from Google Images. And I think this also reminds me some of one more thing, that this is the reason why now a lot of people are using Pinterest
mhm,
for their to start to begin their product research. So I would say, if you are planning to scale your e-commerce, if you already like something which you have covered the SEO part, and something where you're looking beyond SEO, I think social media platform, especially Pinterest, can actually help. Yeah, again, it also depends on what sort of niche are you working in, but I think most of the e-commerce can align with the Pinterest platform, and it actually brings, like I have certain clients that gets benefited from Pinterest a
mhm.
lot. So like
Yeah.
if you're looking for something which is beyond SEO, Pinterest or other social media platform is your second a big marketing channel that you should focus on. I talked about keyword research. I talked about how you should allocate. I talked about how you should design your product pages, how you should structure them. Your same thing goes with your category pages or your home pages, your slugs. Everything was like something which is like your is still a part of the SEO fundamentals, that how you should do them when you're working with an e-commerce. So apart from that, like, every just like every other business, every other marketing activities, I'd say that it also like at the same time, it also requires your creative side of and the strategic side. So make sure that you are setting up good KPIs. Make sure you are setting up a good roadmap. It shouldn't be too like normal. It shouldn't be too ambitious. It should be just like things that you can actually achieve. And yeah, I think I just remember that you were talking about, and this is also one of the most common questions that I get, is when you are working on a website which is quite small. And I think the best way is because once when I started working for a website, it was just like ranking for, like, it was just a new website. So they had a DR of around 7 or something, and they were ranking for very few keywords. And the good part was like, yeah, I would be honest with you, the niche was quite narrow. So the audience was quite refined. So it was much easier for me to do the keyword research and bring that traffic. So we started, but my strategy was like, I was doing some really traditional SEO link building, like directory submissions for them, local SEOs and these stuff, so that they can have certain each some brand visibility. At the same time, I prioritized it in different ways. First, there was 3 phases of those websites. First, I focused on the homepage and the category pages. This is where I started fixing up all the tech audits, like meta tags, the generic ones. So I came up with a generic meta tag, meta title, meta description, so that I can fill up all those a website with something. The same thing which I said about alt text. Like, I just first give them a generic ones. I know that I would move on to that pages specifically at some point, but I just can't wait for them to have those missing descriptions for long.
Yeah.
I want to give them some results. So the first part was like, in that phase 1 was something very generic ones, a title and descriptions from templates. So I still got benefited from that. The traffic went up from those generic ones. It was very basic. I was using the title name, the product name, and then like shop, product name, and then just like in and then was the country. That's all I was doing, and I was getting a lot of meta description, like traffic. So that was the phase 1, and then moving on to the phase 2, where I started working I started working individually on category pages. This is where I started diving deeper into analytics. This is where I started like getting information about how I can restructure the website. So I introduced more categories, like men, women. What should be the subcategories? So again, I started looking for site search analytics. I started looking for all these data, come up with a restructure, and then I started optimizing those pages for from everything from scratch. When I'm seeing from scratch, proper keyword research, allocations, content, metas, and then one by one, I finished the all the categories and subcategories, and then I started focusing on product pages. In 4 months, that traffic, which was like around 10 every day, it was around 400 in a month, reached around 3,000 like in a month organically. And then like at that point, the website was having $400 or $500 of organic revenue, which increased to $5,000. So I would say, yeah. So yeah, be in your niche. Go for the basics, that what I've explained before, and structure your website. Put some set up those KPIs and go phase by phase. You should know like the homepage, the categories are the first most important thing. Move on to the product pages, and yeah, which I forgot to tell you, the last phase was actually the content, which is the blog section. This is where I because once everything was in place, the categories, I was doing a lot of CRO back there. I was doing a lot of testing. I kept tweaking the homepage I was getting data from, let's say, I was getting from site search analytics, from Google Analytics. I was also using Hotjar, which is like a heat map. So I was also checking what my users are doing on the homepage. I was checking which sections are they clicking, which sections are they not clicking. So But the sections that were unpopular, I kept changing them with 2 or 3 different versions of images or versions of categories. And then I kept tweaking so that my homepage now have, I think it would was somewhat around 500 times more navigations from what it was very initially, when that homepage was absolutely absurd. So yeah, just put it into phases: main pages, primary pages, product pages, content pages. And then in that last phase, you can develop a content calendar for them and do that, all this blogging stuff and everything that's related to additional informational content.
Thank you so much. It was really wonderful. Any last words?
Like, yeah, always be flexible, always be agile. SEO is something where you don't have those, like pre-written or predetermined like rules or something. Like, it's always like, it can be different for different type of websites. SEO can be different for different type of niche, how what sort of audience you have. So always be flexible, understand your audience, know your audience, and make strategies according to that. So always be flexible. This can give you the most of the results when it comes to conversions.
Amazing. Thank you.
Make me more pretty, make me more puffed. I don't know. Like, you have to do some of your
video. See, I can't speak.
That I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, behind that, please cut this question. Don't ask me this question.
Okay, wait 1 second. My lips are so dry. I need to put some lip gloss on.
The SEO part, by the way.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think like I won't, imagine like you had your version.
Jesus, it's ruining my shot.
Your background would be different. So it's like, Kira, why are you switching places when we edited? Like, there's something else.